My name is Lisa Moreno, and I teach science at Carter Elementary. The handout that accompanies this video can be found at the Knox County Schools website under the Student Resources tab. This is week 6 of the activity pack. Today's activity is 2nd grade science. And if you need a printed copy of the activity, they're going to be distributed at the meal distribution sites on Wednesday from 10 to 12 p.m. And let's get started. Okay, 2nd grade science, week 6. And just want you to know a few things about me first. I live on a farm. We have 62 acres and we have lots of animals, and we see lots of animal life cycles at our place. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how do animals grow and change. And the animal we're going to talk about are frogs, one of my favorite. And if you need help with this video, if you'll just read this to turn on closed captions and to adjust the speed, maybe watch a little bit at a time, and ask someone in your home to watch the video with you. Just some fun facts about frogs that I thought you might like to know is that frogs are amphibians, and there are 4,700 species of frogs. And the only continent that doesn't have frogs is Antarctica. It's too cold. Frogs can jump up to 20 times their height. Also, the brighter the color of the frog, the more likely they are to be poisonous. And this is very interesting, is a frog's ear is bigger than its eye. It's likely a male, a boy. Females tend to have smaller ears. Okay, and this is a cartoon drawing of the 4 stages of a frog life cycle. They start out as an egg, and they're like in a jelly-like sac. And after about 10 days, they hatch into tadpoles. And tadpoles breathe with gills like a fish. And after a couple of weeks, they start growing arms and legs, and their tail shrinks up into their body. And then after that, they become adult frogs. This is very cool. This is a real photograph of frog eggs that someone picked up in a pond. They did put them back after this. They didn't harm them. Every little black dot you see is a frog egg, and each one of those is going to be a tadpole. And this is what a tadpole looks like after it's hatched and grown just a little bit. And you can see it has no arms and legs. And it has a long tail. It looks more like a fish than a frog. And like I said, it does breathe with gills like a fish does at this point. This is a video. Oops, I'm so sorry. This is a video of tadpoles, hundreds of them, that are in a pond. And you can see they even kind of swim like a fish. They kind of shake their little tail, and they're looking around for little insects and maybe plant things to eat. And they stay a tadpole for a couple of weeks, and then they become frogs. And this is what a froglet looks like. And you can see it still has a tail like a tadpole, but it has grown arms and legs. Actually, I guess they're all legs. They're not arms. And those back legs are become very muscular, and that's what helps them jump so far. And this is what those tadpoles and froglets grow into. This is the last stage of the frog life cycle. And these are a lot of adult frogs together, and they're trying to stay warm. It must be a little bit chilly where they are. And these are actually mountain chorus frogs. We have a lot of these frogs here at my farm. And this is a real photograph of my farm. And this is the pond at my farm. And right now we have thousands of tadpoles. And let's see, I have another view of the pond. This is the same pond, And ponds tend to have kind of a muddy water because there are lots of turtles in my pond that kind of stir up the mud. And there are lots of frogs and tadpoles, and there's also lots of fish in this pond. So it is hardly ever really clear. And this is my pond, and it looks almost like the other video, but this is actually my pond. And there are so many. They're all around the bank. They tend to stay in the shallow water. And when you get near them, they do see you, and they tend to scurry away. And that is my pond. And this is one picture of an adult mountain chorus frog. And you've probably heard them if you go out in the spring. And I have an audio recording of a mountain chorus frog that I would like for you to listen to, and I'm going to listen to it with you. I want you to watch its throat going in and out. It looks like he's blowing bubbles. No, so cool. And then this is a close-up picture of a mountain chorus frog and his throat. He blows up air in his throat to make that sound, and he's calling for his mate. He's trying to find his friends. And I have another video for you. I love this. This is actually frogs that live in my classroom. And they are African clawed frogs. Oops. I skipped it again. I so apologize. Now, they are adult frogs. The white one is an albino African clawed frog, and that means they have no color. And their names are Fred and Francis. Francis is the albino. She's the girl. And Fred is the darker greenish gray frog. And we've had them in our classroom a couple of years. And they're very easy to take care of. They are totally aquatic. They're like taking care of fish in an aquarium. They never come out of the water. And this is Famous Frank. He also lives in my classroom. He's another African clawed frog. And he is very large. He is as big as my hand. And he is about 6 years old. And like I said, these frogs are totally aquatic. They never leave the water. And they eat goldfish food. And they also have specialized frog food that you can buy at an aquarium store. And they also love dried bloodworms. I'm going to play Frank for you here. And he actually watches my students. And it's so funny when my students stand up, sometimes he'll stand up on his back legs. And he is very active. And the kids take turns feeding him. And I take him home during our long breaks. There he is standing up for you. One of my students said he was saying the Pledge of Allegiance, because when we stand up, he stands up. But they are very easy pets to take care of. And so that is Famous Frank. Say bye, Frank. Okay, and this is your activity that I would like for you to do. This paper is available in the packet for week 6. And what you do is you cut out the pictures on the bottom of the page, and you glue them in the correct order for a frog's life cycle. And you can go back through the video and review the life cycle. And you can see here, this is the first part of the life cycle. So I'm going to give you a hint. You start here with the first picture I showed you with the lady that had those in her hand. Those are frog eggs. And then there are 5 pictures, so there are 5 spots for you to put the pictures. Enjoy. I hope you're reading and learning. Science is life. So go outside and see what you can learn about science today. Bye. And don't forget to clean up and wash your hands. Take care of yourself. Be safe.